I created Atrium Fragrance because I didn't like the fact that designer brands nowadays do not care about innovating any longer. They use people like fragrance evaluators to see what's on trend and to see what fragrances will make them the most money. They don't care, they're not creative anymore in general, and they don't innovate. Then niche brands do innovate, but they're extremely expensive and are very inaccessible. I didn't like the fact that a lot of people couldn't try niche fragrances because of the price tag, so I wanted to make a brand that's a lot more affordable, a lot more accessible, while still maintaining that quality and creativity you expect from niche. Shameless plug of my own brand aside, today I thought I'd make this video for you guys where I would introduce the best fragrances, in my opinion, that are good for introducing yourself into niche. These are the best affordable niche fragrances. I'm going for 5 different fragrances for 5 different categories because that's generally how you can make a well-rounded collection. So these are the 5 categories you see on our own website. And I'm going to go through each one and tell you why I think these fragrances are the best and whether or not you should check them out and how you can sample them. And I'll tell you why each one introduces you to new creative concepts that will elevate your fragrance game. I always say niche fragrances are like the gourmet Michelin star world of food. Once you go Michelin star, you appreciate the quality you can get in cuisine, and you're not going to just say, oh, you know, McDonald's or Five Guys is the best. Your perspective changes forever. So that's what I'm doing here today with you guys in this video. The versatile fragrance, Terence Hughes Hard Candy. Why is this fragrance good as your versatile option? Because it introduces oud to your nose, to your palate. Actually, a lot of these fragrances have oud, but this is the only one that has real oud. Real oud is extremely expensive, it's becoming endangered, and Terence Hughes loves to use the ingredient. He loves his loud projecting fragrances that are very mass appealing, give you a lot of compliments, but they still have a lot of his creativity. If you don't know Terence Hughes, he is a YouTuber himself who reviews fragrances, and he's also a perfumer. So he gives you a perfumer's perspective on fragrances and how they're constructed. He does really fascinating videos. I recommend you subscribe to him, check him out. Hard Candy is creamy strawberry with citruses mixed with smooth musks, loud woody oud. This is a very balanced and very mass appealing fragrance you can use day and night all year round for all genders and all ages, which is incredible to achieve from a perfumer's creation, honestly. I get 12 hours longevity with this fragrance with a medium to loud projection, which is incredible for a freshie, but this does have a really unique creativity to it. As I said, it uses oud in a very safe way. It introduces your nose to the ingredient that really makes it very accessible. It sounds like it should be a gourmand fragrance, but it's not. It's actually very well balanced and just has very interesting fruity notes that kind of gives it that Hard Candy name. You can get 50 ml of Hard Candy for £125, which is incredible. Remember guys, because this is so strong, this will last you a lot longer than a standard 100 ml. People forget that with niche fragrances. Or you can get a 10 ml of this like I have to try it out. If you want a guaranteed compliment getter, check out Hard Candy. For the evening or day night category, I'm going to recommend a brand that is often seen as a good affordable entry into niche. That is Montale's Honey Oud. As the name suggests, it is honey and oud combined. It's a very simple fragrance, but it's a good fragrance to introduce yourself into the gourmand category of fragrances. It is edible, sweet, intense. It does smell synthetic, but it's very long lasting because of that, at least 12 hours. It has a sweet, edible honey and oud combined together, but unlike Hard Candy, I do think it's synthetic oud, but it's got this basically very intense, sharp woodiness to it. It kind of gives it a gourmand and Middle Eastern effect mixed together. So if you like the sound of that, you like really intensely sweet fragrances, you know, it's simple, but it smells lovely and it gives you that gourmand into your fragrance collection. You should check out Honey Oud. It wasn't for me in the end because I don't want synthetic fragrances particularly in my collection, but that's because I've been collecting for many years now, you know, but this is a good beginner choice to pick up. It's very affordable, under £100, I believe, for a full bottle. If you guys are enjoying the video so far and you want to support the channel, make sure you are subscribed. I see in our stats that only about 29% of you are subscribed to us. I want to get that to 35%, guys. It really helps the channel to grow and spreads the word about School of Scent. Let's continue. Okay, now you want a loud and attention-grabbing evening fragrance, one for the club, one for partying. This is the fragrance I recommend. Alexandria Fragrances, Hafez 1984. Referring to a brand as niche can be quite subjective. What does niche mean? It means a lot of the times that the fragrances are trying to be more creative than mass appealing, and the brand is primarily focusing on fragrances. They don't focus on other things like fashion, handbags, and clothing, for example. Alexandria Fragrances is predominantly a clone house. I wouldn't say clone houses are niche brands particularly, because of course they're trying to just replicate other fragrances, but this is one of their few original creations, Hafez 1984. I got this for what, £35 to 30 ml. You need 2 sprays and it will fill up a room. So 30 ml again goes a long way. This is incredible. When people think of loud clubbing fragrances, they think of something like Versace Eros. That is very simple. You smell something like this The compliments, first of all, are off the charts, and it smells a lot more luxurious, a lot more complex and interesting. This is a spicy, vanilla, tobacco, boozy fragrance. I think rum is the booze in here. It is got a lot of different notes that you won't get in the designer brands. That's going to introduce your nose to this kind of scent profile for a very affordable price. And you think, okay, maybe it smells a bit cheap, like, you know, I said Montale smells a bit synthetic. This does not really smell that particularly synthetic. It smells very luxurious and much more expensive than the price tag would suggest. 12 hours longevity with a medium to loud projection. This is incredible value for money. If you want an attention grabber that'll get you compliments, mainly in the cold weather, get Hafez 1984. You guys need to try this out. For the office category, you want something that's going to be inoffensive and clean, but it's niche now we're going for. So you still want something that with nuance, something that's interesting to smell all day round at work. Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. Zaharoff is a brand that's been going strong for a good number of years now. Online, you see them a lot on social media, and I think they're very good. I think they release very interesting takes on Western perfumery mixed with Middle Eastern concepts. So Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme takes a Western, clean, soapy lavender barbershop fragrance, something like a traditional shaving foam aftershave you apply on yourself, and then they mix it with a lot of ambers, a little bit of oud, a little bit of incense to make it a little bit Middle Eastern smelling. So it's not too Middle Eastern, not too Western, it's a beautiful blend. This is a highly regarded fragrance by the brand. I think it's fantastic. It has got a soft projection but lasts a very long time, over 12 hours. For a fresh and clean fragrance for the office time, that is fantastic. No matter how exploited you are, how many hours you're doing in your shift, it doesn't matter with this fragrance because it'll last you all shift long. So this is a fantastic, again, nuanced, a little bit of sweetness, mainly fresh and clean soapy fragrance that is really good for the office and will enhance your office game. As I said before, office fragrances are often very simple for a particular reason, but for niche fragrances, you want to try something different, this is the fragrance to go for. And lastly, the hot weather category. For this category, you want something that's going to be not sweet, you need to be bitter in a way because heat activates fragrances more, makes it more intense and sort of sweetens them up a little bit. This fragrance I don't actually particularly like in most of the year round, actually, but you got to bear in mind, in the UK, let's say your country in the Mediterranean or the Middle East is at 40 degrees Celsius, that is probably just as bad as the UK's 25 degrees Celsius. Because here, first of all, we have no air conditioning, and also we like to whinge and complain a lot, but also thirdly, it's very humid in the UK, so it becomes very muggy and very unbearable. And I'm saying this as a person from Egypt. I know about the heat, guys, I've experienced the heat, but this weather in the UK is a bit deadly. So you want something that's really refreshing, no sweetness at all for that kind of weather. You want it to be something that really works well when you don't want to be annoyed. And this fragrance does it. I think it's incredible in that kind of heat. Mancera's Oud Lemon Mint. Oud Lemon Mint smells like lemon sherbet candy mixed with a synthetic woody oud. Mancera, again, is a fantastic, affordable niche brand in general, and is the sister brand of Montale. So they both have this thing where they are synthetic, but very long lasting. And this is extremely long lasting while still being very sharp and refreshing. As I said, in the worst, most annoying heat, this is perfect. It lasts over 14 hours and it does not annoy you. That's incredible for a summer fragrance. Medium projection, and this has actually gotten me compliments surprisingly. I thought this was quite an alternative experimental scent DNA, but actually, you know, people do like this. It is hard to find fragrances that will not annoy you in extreme heat, and it's hard to find summer fragrances that last so long. So that's why I think Oud Lemon Mint is incredible. I think you can get it for under £100 for a full bottle like this. So to conclude, Hard Candy introduces you into an oud DNA. Honey Oud brings a gourmand aspect into your collection. Hafez 1984 brings a much more complex and interesting evening scent. Zaharoff Signature keeps an inoffensive and clean DNA but adds nuance to your office fragrance. And Oud Lemon Mint brings in a much more powerful summer freshie that you often don't find in designer brands. As I said before, guys, make sure to check out our own brand, Atrium Fragrance, which has gotten many 5-star reviews so far, and we do both a sample and full bottle options. I'll leave that in the description down below. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to check out our other videos on niche fragrances, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.